Welcome, friends. I'm filming this video for the fourth time because it's not easy. This is not an easy fragrance to define. This is not an easy fragrance to talk about. This is not an easy fragrance to convey. You have to smell it. And I do recommend that you smell it, because I love this fragrance. I love this fragrance a lot. This came out in 2019. It was made by Thierry Vassar. The perfume is Encens Mythique by Guerlain. I will tell you the notes, and I will tell you what I get, and then I will tell you how it makes us feel. I'm going to try and keep this brief because I might just end up chasing my tail a bit. So, anyway. The top notes are rose, aldehydes, and saffron. The mid notes are vetiver, pink pepper, and patchouli. And the base notes are ambergris, olibanum, and woodsy notes. This is according to Fragrantica. Now I will tell you what I get. I get rose, aldehydes, a little bit of saffron, ambergris, and some of the olibanum. The rest of the notes don't, like, especially the mid notes, vetiver, pink pepper, patchouli, no. None of that. Fucking woodsy, the less said about woodsy notes, the better. At least it's not as bad as exotic woods, you know? That's just a slap in the face. They're just laughing at you when they say that. What I get from it, it starts at the top when you first spray it on, big aldehydes, and the first impression of ambergris. And after about 5 minutes, the rose and the saffron come out a little bit. The rose isn't like a jammy rose or a tart rose or a fruity rose or a spicy rose. It is just like, imagine you've got some quite weak rose water and you've got the rose water's downstairs, but you're upstairs, right? And it's weak, but you get, for some reason, there's a gust of wind or something, or there's like a current that goes through the house, and you get like the faintest whiff of rose water. That's what the rose water in this is like. It's very weak, very watery. That might be because of the ambergris making everything feel quite watery. Even though this perfume is thick, it's a perfume of contrasts. I'll come on to that. But the aldehydes are big. I wouldn't buy this if you don't like aldehydes. And then at the top, the aldehydes never really disappear completely. They're a big note in this perfume. And they go really well with ambergris. I'm not a huge fan of aldehydes personally, but I think they're done really well in this. I think they go really well with ambergris. The rose tends to die off after about an hour, and then you are left with something more like an ambergris, basically, with little flicks of saffron, a little bit of spice here. The rose-ish, not really. It always stays in that really watered down, watery sort of territory where you don't get like, this is not a rose perfume. It's not rose heavy. It's not rose forward. But there's no mid. For me, there's no mid. The ambergris starts to come out after about 10 minutes, 5 minutes. It is actually quite present when you first put it on, and then it retreats, then it comes back like a wave, in, out, but the tide's coming in, and it's bringing the ambergris with it. The aldehydes start to settle down. The rose just generally like fades, feels like it's fading forever. And then the ambergris takes over, and the ambergris stays and stays and stays, and this will last for 12 hours. 10, 12 hours at least. It's got huge amounts of ambergris in it, and it's natural ambergris as well. When you've smelled natural ambergris and you've smelled perfumes that you know have got natural ambergris in, you will come to notice ambroxan, ambrox, all the other like synthetic trihards that have been produced over the last 10 years, where they've tried to replace ambroxan with something cheaper. But it just doesn't compare. This has definitely got real ambergris in it, as has Amber Supreme. It's not the same ambergris, but you can tell that both of these have real ambergris in. And it's absolutely beautiful, and like a perfume. It's a perfume that isn't just an ambergris tincture. It's not just like it's just one thing. There are little flashes. There's the genius of like what a house like Guerlain can do. They can take one note, build an entire perfume around it, and then have little splashes here and a little splash there, where the other notes come and go, like the saffron does, like the olibanum does. It's not a resinous perfume, but it is slightly oily and thick. Not on your skin, like you don't get like a puddle on your skin, and you don't get like a sheen on your skin, or do you? No, but you do get this like impression of like oil, and it sticks around for hours, and it's beautiful. The sillage on this is absolutely sensational. You can tell why all the perfume houses go mad for ambroxan, because the smell of the real thing is amazing. You can see like the gold rush, why they have attempted to go and imitate and replace this and make it cheaper and make it more sort of reliable, so they don't have to pay massive amounts for the real stuff. But the real stuff is worth going for. It lasts for hours and hours and hours. It's unbelievable. It's very strong as well. The sillage on this is stunning, because it becomes very ethereal, because it comes from nature, because it is, and it's been around for a long time. You know, it becomes very natural. It becomes very natural smelling. This perfume makes me feel a bit lost. It's very difficult to talk about this and define it. I'm still unsure about it. I love it, don't get us wrong. I absolutely love this perfume, but I'm still unsure how to talk about it, how to convey to you what it smells like. Unless you've already smelled it, you may or may not have that problem, but I do. This perfume makes me feel a bit lost, in that, in the same way that ambergris gets lost, it gets lost at sea. It's very melancholic. It's very sad. It's very, sad's maybe not the right word, but there's beauty. There's like beauty in that feeling of being lost. You're on your own, and no one can experience the things that you experience. And that's what this perfume's like. This perfume makes you feel in and of yourself. It makes you feel lost, but also reassured that you are part of something greater. You know, it makes you feel sad. It's like looking up at the sky, or looking up at the stars at night, and seeing all of that stretch out away from you, but knowing also that even though you are small and a tiny part, you are still a part of something greater than yourself. Very, very special. And that's why I love this perfume. Thank you very much. I will see you again.